Illegal social boycott in West Bengal. What is the importance of the 2016 Act? Let's find out. Hello and welcome to Inventiva. This is Palak Yadav presenting to you today's big news. Does anyone remember in West Bengal Assembly elections where Mamata Banerjee came out as a winner? Of course, everyone does. Because those elections were held when the second wave of COVID was at its peak. People were dying, there was no oxygen, there were no hospital beds. Yet, mass rallies were conducted with no social distancing and masks. What's more, Election Commission of India allowed this for quite some time. It is said that whenever elections surface, COVID and COVID-related deaths magically minimize themselves. After the results, West Bengal was grappled with post-poll violence, which continued for weeks. Several party workers on both sides were killed, offices were torched, and homes were looted. In this mess, a lot of real and fake news surfaced, and law enforcement agencies were baffled with maintaining law and order and busting phony information and videos. Still, it could not be denied that the state was under post-poll violence. Chief Minister Mamata Banerjee appealed for peace and announced compensation for the victims and their families. Professor Biswanath Chakrabarty, a political observer, said that the West Bengal has always established political dominance using violence as a tool after elections. Bengal politics has always been linked to area dominance. BJP President JP Nadda has called it state-sponsored violence. Whether it is state-sponsored or not, few developments do raise suspicion. Dulal Chakrabarty, who is a BJP worker, had to flee from Mahista village of Paschim Madinpur district, fearing the retaliation from local Trinamool workers. Their friends and acquaintances advised them to stay inside the house and avoid going out in any circumstances. Chakrabarty later figured out that he and his family were amongst the 16 local BJP supporters who were targeted. Trinamool workers prepared the list to boycott them socially. When police got a whiff of this list and torture, they reached out to Chakrabarty and assured him protection. But he was already too scared because he had to live 15 days inside the house. He made up his mind and cut off all ties with BJP. Apart from Chakrabarty, Narayana Midya, Vice President of BJP, Keshpur Purb Mandal, faced a social boycott for a month. Midya is still scared to return to his job and doubt if he has won. He works as a licensed law clerk at the Land Records Office. His house was ransacked and he had to flee with food and essential items to avoid being beaten by TMC workers. Other people like Hardin Mall, who was not given tea at the tea stall, Gautam Mall, Panchu Mall, Divyendu Mall, etc. Dalal is a farmer who owns only 2 bighas of land. Mall is a graduate with no job. The condition of the house and the amount of land can give us necessary insights into the economic prospects, income, and the standard of living. He was living 15 days to a month into isolation where they were forced not to go out affected their earning. A person who lives in a mud house has to go out daily to find work so that he can eat at the end of the day. And imagine not being able to do so for 15 whole days.